Hi guys, reading time. So I was just talking to Avery, telling her I was going to do a video for you guys, and I asked her, I said, hey Avery, what do you do when you come to a tricky word? And her response was, I skip it. So I said, all right, I like it. I skip words when I don't know them, but what do you do after? So she said, well, I just skip it. I said, well, what happens if it doesn't make sense? What if you just skip it and you don't know what you're reading? So she didn't really know what to say, and I'm okay with that because I love her strategy of saying I skip it, because I do. I skip words, but then I go back and try to figure it out, which I know she does. So if it doesn't make sense, it doesn't sound right. So we're going to do that today. We're going to use all of our superpowers when we read. But we're also going to make sure we ask ourselves, well, does that really look right? Does that sound right? Does that make sense? So look up here. I've got it right here. We had this in class. I hope you can see it. So when you check your reading, when you're reading, and I know reading's not easy, guys. It takes a lot of work. But you guys, you've learned so much. So we always have to ask, well, does that make sense? Does that sound right? Does that look right? So we're going to do that today with this book. All right? I have Tiny Goes to the Library. And this is a book written by Kari Meister, and it's illustrated by Rich Davis. So I'm going to read this, but you're going to watch me struggle through some tricky words. You're going to watch what I do. All right? So pay attention because I want you to do what I do. This is Tiny. He is my best friend. He goes where I go. If I go to the park, Tiny comes too. If I go to the... Oh, and I blanked it out, so you guys, this is where we're going to work on. Tiny comes too. So right now, if I go to the... And I hid the word, because this is what we're going to work on. So right away, I use my picture clue. I'm looking what I see. If I see like a pond, or... Yeah, I see water. So I think what would make sense is if it said, if I go to the pond. Because I see grass around it, only on one side, so I don't know. Maybe it's just water, but pond or water, that would make sense. If I go to the... So let's find out what it says. If I go to the pond, well, pond. When I say pond, I hear a P, so that doesn't look right. Right away, I know, like, that's an L. Water, no, that doesn't look right. It sounds right. I mean, it makes sense if I said that, but it doesn't look right. So now I need to really use, like, my superpowers. I have to bring them out. If I go to the lack, if I go to... Oh, that doesn't... Does that sound right? Lack? That doesn't even make sense. Doesn't sound right. So now I'm going to play around with my vowel. If I go to the lake. Oh, lake. If I go to the lake, Tiny comes too. Now that makes sense. Okay, that makes sense. Lake. That looks right. All right. Let's go on. Let's move on. Today we are going to the library. I get my library card. I get my... All right, so right now I'm using my picture clue. He's getting his library card. And down here he's getting his... I would say he's getting his cart. Or what is this? I don't remember that. That's a cart. All right. So I get my... So let's find out. I get my... So cart would make sense. Let's find out what it says. Oh. All right. I get my... Well, right away, that doesn't look right. Can you see? cart. No, that doesn't look right. Like, it makes sense, but so he's got his card. He gets his. I get my wagon. Oh, wagon. Oh, that makes sense. All right, so let's go back. I get my library card. I get my wagon. Okay, so that makes sense. Wagon looks right. Sounds right. So boys and girls, today what I want you to do when you read, I want you to do just what I did. I kept asking myself, does it make sense? Does it sound right? Does it look right? And you guys can do that. We did this before. We did it before, a piece of cake. When you see a word, you might think it's something. You go all the way to the end of that word. You look at the beginning letter, beginning sound, and go all the way to the end. And if you think it's pond, like I did, but it was lake, you look and you ask yourself those questions, and you will figure it out. All right, so I want you to do that today while you're reading. I want you to go into Raz Kids, and I want you to try your best. I want you to use these strategies and all your superpowers, because you saw me use the pattern power. You saw me use sound power. You saw me use reread power. So I'm using all my powers all the time, but I'm also asking myself these questions. That's what good readers do. And you guys are good readers. So I want you to try that today, okay? Have fun reading. I miss you. Work hard. Don't forget to look at the timer. You guys can time yourself. I want you to read at least 15 minutes independently on your own. Use the timer. And then I want you to read with a partner. And if you want to take a break, guys, and read later, that is okay. Okay? You can do that later. But I want you to read with a partner at some point for 5 to 10 minutes. And I want you to be able to talk about what you read. Okay? We've done that. That's going to make you even better reader. When you can talk about what you read. All right? Pat on the back. 2 thumbs up. Nice job, friends.